Welcome to the Occasion Station, your one-stop destination for all things eventful and inspiring. Here to share insights and spark creativity for every occasion. Our show will bring you everything from event planning tips and creative culinary ideas to wellness inspiration and mindset empowerment. Whether you're planning a special event or just looking to live life with a little more intention, you've come to the right place. Let's make every moment and occasion worth celebrating. Now here's your host and event specialist, Pamela Howard.
Hello. Welcome back and good evening to the Occasion Station. I'm your host, Pamela Howard, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite topic, which is event planning made simple. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the endless to-do list, tight budgets, and last-minute stresses, this episode is for you. We're going to break down the event planning process into easy, manageable steps so that you can host a stress-free and successful event. Let's just dive right in, okay? Now, I want you to picture this, okay? Let's see here. Trying to find don't have my assistant with me this evening, so we're going to picture this. Here we go. All right. Let's start with a quick visualization. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. The day of your event. Everything is set up perfectly. The decor is flawless. The catering is on point. And your guests are relaxed and happy. You're not running around stressed because you followed a plan that worked. That's the goal today, to help you feel calm, confident, and in control throughout the entire process. Now, I want you to take a deep breath in, breathing in all the positiveness, and then let it out. Let it out, all out into the atmosphere. Let's create that feeling of ease and success together. All right? Now, cha-ching! It's time to talk about event checklists and timelines. Now that we've set the tone, let's talk about the tool that will keep you organized, okay? The key to a smooth event is having a solid plan. I'm going to share this simple checklist and timeline that you can follow, okay? So, number one, let's see here.
Sounds right.
Let's see.
Sounds right.
All right. So number one is set the date and the budget.
Sounds right.
All right.
Sounds right.
set the date and the budget. Nail down your event date and decide how much you're comfortable spending. So every time I meet with a client, in my case, now you may be doing this at home, so you're not going to be asking anyone, you're going to ask yourself. But when I work with a client, the first thing I ask them is their budget? And the response that I typically get is, well, I don't know. I don't have a budget. So then I ask them to think about a dollar amount that they're comfortable spending, knowing everything that you have to do. Okay, when you set your date, you take in considerations of the things that you want to actually execute at your event, and you think about a dollar amount that you feel comfortable spending. So that's number one. All right. Now, number two is book your venue and vendors.
Soundstripe.
All right. So, book your venue and vendors. Secure your location and confirm your catering, confirm your decor, and your entertainment. Now, you may be saying, okay, I'm going to, maybe you're a DIYer. You know, I'm not opposed to DIYers. But one thing about it is, if you're looking for this to be at ease, you want to feel at ease and you want to be stress-free, then let those that are the professionals handle that for you. You can do it within the restraints of your budget. But, you know, secure your location unless you're going to have it at your home. But if you're going to have it at your home, then the tip I would say is make sure that your landscapers aren't coming that day. Find out what type of community activities may be going that day. Make sure there's nothing that the city or the state is doing within your community. If you want an HOA, check out those, realms within your HOA and make sure that the day that you want to do something is not going to affect, your HOA rules. So those are the kind of things you want to think about as you're securing your location, if it's off-site or in your own home. If you're securing something out, at your home, you want to check and make sure that there's ample parking for your guests and, all the things that you need. You can actually check with the venue about that. Confirm your catering. Make sure that you include yourself. Make sure you include the people that are setting up your decor, breaking down your decor. You also want to include the people that are providing the entertainment. Those are all a part of your guest list, okay? All right, just moving right along here. Now we're going to create your guest list. And if you're not writing these things down that I am sharing, I am going to you can go back and watch it on the replay. I'm also going to give you a little surprise at the end. But yes, create your guest list. As I first stated, start with that rough list and then adjust it based on your budget and your venue of choice, okay? So, kind of talked about that with booking your venue. Now, next, you want to design your theme and style. Now, you don't have to be a designer. You just need to know the colors that you want. You want to know the colors that you want. You want to be able to, share what type of decor you want. Say you want balloons, or you want everything in florals, or maybe you want candles. Maybe you want live plants, the overall vibe that you're trying to give your guests. It's all about that vibe, that experience that you want your guests. Maybe you want it to be whimsical, but decide on your theme. Today is St. Patrick's Day. I've got my lucky earrings on. I've got my lucky shirt on here. So decide what type of vibe, what type of theme, what type of color you want. It's just going to make it easier for, the person that is actually doing your decor. The more that you can share with them, the better that they can execute the things that you want them to do.
Soundstripe.
Okay. Now, next, and I'm looking away because I'm looking at my notes here. So, the next thing we're going to talk about is confirming all the details. Double check your contracts. If you are actually securing a caterer, check your contracts. Check things like what all is included in your catering, and I'll give you a quick example. So if you're having a professional caterer to come in, find out if they're going to just drop it off, or if they're going to drop it off and set it up for you. That is one important question you want to ask, because for caterers, you may say you just want them to deliver it, but in your mind, you may be thinking you're going to deliver it, set it up for us, and we may tear it down. But you have to be specific and make sure that it's in your contract what they're going to do specifically. If you want them to actually serve your guests, to manage the food control, then you need to make sure there's not an additional cost in your contract. Or if it is an additional cost, you want to make sure of all of that. Just a few professional tips for you. Okay. Make sure of the arrival times. You want to make sure things arrive well in advance to be set up right before your event begins. And you want to make sure that it's not going to coincide when you want to begin. If you're going to have a cake delivered, you want to make sure, depending on the type of cake you have, buttercream will melt faster than fondant. So you want to make sure that, it arrives in time. It's going to be okay in the temperature of your venue and things like that. Make sure you do that final head count. And again, include the people that are going to be there, that are your vendors. Include them in your head count as well. Because a lot of times they actually expect to be if they're going to be at your event. So make sure you include them, okay? Last but not least, number 6, day of strategy. Assign someone to help manage the flow so you can enjoy your event. This is where a day of coordinator comes in handy. I'm telling you, it is an investment well spent. Hire a day of coordinator to come in. A lot of times, if you secure a day of coordinator within 2 to 3 months of your event, it can be very economical. If you wait till the last minute, 30 days or less, it can be very expensive. So plan ahead. Now that you have these 6 simple steps, it's easy, right? You can keep it simple and you can stay ahead of the game. All right? All right then. Now, let me just, let's just cut this. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. Okay. So because I'm doing this, normally I'm just going to take a quick pause. So normally the Occasion Station airs at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. But that is the great thing about it being my show. I can do what I want to do. I do plan on being consistent with the time, but sometimes life happens and you have to make adjustments. So instead of canceling the show altogether, I decided to schedule it at 10 p.m. So wanted to see if anyone was on tonight, see what type of response I get as well. But typically the show will start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, we're going to go ahead and go into our third segment, which is budgets and hacks to maximize impact while minimizing cost. Okay. Now, I love talking about budget hacks just because who doesn't want to save $1, right? So, all right, let's talk about money. You don't need a big budget to create a big impact. I can't say that enough. You don't need a big budget to create a big impact. Now, I'm going to share a few quick hacks to save money without sacrificing the style. Okay. So, number one, I should have did this earlier and put my, I'm having to put my tags in it. That's okay. It's all right. Let's see here. Okay. First things first. Okay. Let's see. DIY decor. That's the first one. Okay. DIY decor. You don't have to necessarily use a florist. You can make your centerpieces with affordable flowers from local markets. A lot of times, I'm going to tell you this secret, okay? It's not really a secret because, so in North Carolina, we have a big box store called Sam's Club. And Sam's Club, you can actually pre-order flower arrangements. If you want like a rose arrangement, whatever color rose you want. If you want hydrangeas, or if you want a spring bouquet or a fall bouquet, you can actually order those. I love the Dollar Tree. Okay, I do. I love the Dollar Tree because they have so many glass vase options for $1.25, even for $5. I mean, that's not an expensive vase. And the thing about clear vase is that you can add color with water beads, crystals, rocks, floating beads, anything like that, candles. But so if you don't have the budget, when you figure out how much you need to spend and you realize you don't have the budget to afford a florist, you can actually, DIY it yourself and go to a local market and get your flowers. Okay. Now, leverage your network. I am a stickler for networking. Even if you're not self-employed or an entrepreneur, have your own business, you have friends, you have family, you may have co-workers, people in your church group. Leverage your network. Ask friends, family, if they have skills like, some people do photography for a hobby. Okay. The church always has a photographer. If you don't go to church, then, you may have a friend. Some people just like to take pictures of still life. Still life is things like plants with a saucer or something like that. Musicians, people that, love to mix different types of music, good with DJing. I have a daughter. She's 17 years old and she loves to bake and she has a natural talent. And a lot of times when I want to gift my clients, I have her bake things for me and I send it to my clients and they love it. So, all of that, leveraging your network, that can contribute. And I want to actually share this way of leveraging your network for those that are looking, that are entrepreneurs and have a small business. I am members of several networking organizations in my city and in my state. And when I had my open house for our commercial kitchen, probably about 15 years ago, there was a networking group that I had joined that was fairly new. So they were growing, we were growing, and we decided to work together for my grand opening. The networking group was my welcoming committee, because when you have guests that are coming, the one thing you want them to do is feel welcome and appreciated, and they want to feel like, they matter. So I made sure that I had a welcoming committee. It was an opportunity for the networking group because they were able to be the first ones that my guests saw, introduce themselves, give them information, and invite them into the event. So there's so many ways you can leverage your network so that it's a win-win for everybody. It's a mutual benefit, and everyone has a good time, right? Okay. Now, I want to talk about rental over buying. This is another way you can save things. All right, so renting linens, tables, and chairs often will cost less than buying, and it saves storage hassles. So there are, renting something that you have to return versus purchasing something. You think about that. So I've had people, you know, they want, say, let's go to the floor since we were talking about DIYs. Say, for instance, a lot of times florists make arrangements to showcase, and they have, if you ever use the florist, whatever vessel they put their flowers in, that's a part of the purchase of your floral arrangement. But ask your florist, instead of purchasing, will they rent the arrangement? Florists, they work with fresh flowers, they work with silk flowers, and a lot of times they will rent out their items because, let's face it, there are slow times in our business, and sometimes we have to get creative with meeting our budget and looking after our bottom line. So instead of purchasing the arrangement, ask if they will rent the arrangement, because it's a win-win. They're going to get paid, and they don't have to restock inventory because they're going to get that vessel back that they had the arrangement in. And if the flowers are silk, they can reuse those again. Or, if they're fresh, then of course, all fresh things wither away. So think about that, renting over buying. Linens is another thing. You rent table linens. You may pay $9 or $10 for a table linen to rent, but then if you purchase them, you may wind up paying like 2 or 3 times more that cost. So something to consider there, just to save on your budget. And then one other thing. Now this is a sticker. Now, multi-use items. Yes, multi-items. That is a good one. Let's get this one up so you can see it here. All right. Use one type of decor piece like string lights or lanterns. Create an ambience through the event. Candles is another thing. You can buy the battery operated candles, or you can actually light candles. The good thing about the battery operated candles, you don't have to have a vessel for those. So, and you can reuse them for different types of events. You can use them in different kind of ways. And, candles is one of those timeless things that don't really get old. You can always use it, and you can use it for personal use as well. Okay. Now, let's see here. Work smart, not hard. That's how you create a stunning event without blowing your budget. Okay. All right. Next. Yes. Hopefully you can hear me here. There we go. All right. So the mocktail that I was going to share for this evening was a spring mocktail, because spring is just around the corner. It's coming. I think it's this coming Thursday actually. So try this at home. It is pretty, and it's right for spring, and it's sparkly, especially for those that, like, I'm not an alcoholic drinker. I don't drink alcohol. So, but I like that look. Is that condescending? I don't know. Anyway, so ginger ale. You take a cup, okay? Not a cup. You can get a plastic cup, or you can get something to mold it in. you want to get about, if you can't find mint oil, you can just buy fresh mint out of your produce department at the grocery store. Take about 8 leaves, 8 to put some sugar of your choice. You can do Splenda, you can do raw sugar, you can do just regular crystal sugar. Take it and mold. You just want to mold it a little bit to let the oils come out of the mint. Then you want to, if it's not in a cup that you're going to drink out of, once you do that, you want to put it in the bottom of the cup or the glass. Then you want to put a bunch of crushed ice in there, and you pour ginger ale on there, and then you put a mint leaf on top. It's simple, it's sparkly, it's spring, and that is the perfect drink, I'm telling you. So I want you to, I'm gonna put the recipe out there. I want you to try it. Let me know what you think, okay? And there will be more recipes for you on the Occasion Station. All right, now let's go to, last but not least, we're gonna go to our mind shift. Let's see, here we go. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we did that already. Okay. Okay. Mind shift. Okay. Now, here's a truth bomb. Perfection is a myth. I'm going to say that one more time. Perfection is a myth. Something will go wrong, okay? A detail will be overlooked. And guess what? It won't matter. What matters is that you stay present and enjoy the moment. Progress over perfection. That's the mindset shift that will change how you approach different events. Okay? Give yourself space. Celebrate wins, even the small ones. Okay? Now, I am going to put a free event planning checklist into the comments, okay? Give me just 1 second and I am going to put that in here. So, let's see. Okay. Okay, let me put that into the comments here. Okay. I put it into the comments. This is a link to a free checklist. It's an event checklist. Shoot. I misspelled it. Let's see. Let me go back. All right. The link that I just shared with you all is for a free event checklist. This is my free event checklist, okay? So now that you've got the basics down, I've got a little gift for you, and that is the link, okay? I'm also going to put it on at the Occasion Station on my Facebook page. You can go and download it from there as well. Now, this guy is going to walk you step by step through the entire process, so you'll feel prepared and confident from day one. All right. So don't wait. You can grab it here on the show in the comments, and you can start planning with ease. Okay. Now, let's see. That's it for tonight. This was a short segment and it was a little later. So remember, planning doesn't have to be complicated. Keep it simple, stay focused, give yourself room to enjoy the process. Be sure, let's see, be sure to like and subscribe and share this episode with anyone who could use a little event planning guidance. See you next time, and thank you again for joining the Occasion Station. All right, bye-bye now.